I'm going to read you the U.S. Constitution, A to Z. Okay, this one I'm gonna go over the Miranda versus Arizona. I've never been read my Miranda rights by any police officer, ever. Okay, but I'm gonna start off with women. Okay, this is called Minor Women. This is for you. I want you to wakey, eggs and bakey when you hear this. Women, although not denied citizenship, women were accustomed, were by custom not entitled to political rights on a par with a male citizen. They were not allowed to vote, to pursue certain occupations, or in many cases, to manage their own property. Political rights to vote and to be elected to public office were extended to women by the 19th Amendment in 1920. So remember, when we started out as a country, the Constitution, which I don't know if we even added, okay, it does not give any of those rights to women. You see, it always says for men, men, because it's written by a bunch of stupid men. Okay. Remember, the people who wrote our Constitution, they wore wigs. Like they cross-dressed. They wore makeup and wigs. Okay, so keep that in mind. I thought I loved the founding fathers at first, and then the more research I do on them, like for example, Benjamin Franklin, he was a necrophiliac. They found over 1,100 dead bodies on his property. Okay, go Google that. Okay, go do some research, America. But the founding fathers, I like to call them. A lot of people call them the Whig Party. Yeah, they wore the wigs. Yeah, and they wore makeup, and they wore tight pants and girls' underwear. Okay. Okay, here we go. Miranda versus Arizona. Persons accused of crimes are guaranteed three important constitutional rights. The Fifth Amendment, 1791, prohibits self-incrimination. No person shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. The Sixth Amendment, 1791, provides for assistance of counsel, stating, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. A third right, not expressly stated in the Constitution, is the common law presumption of innocence until an accused is proven guilty in a court of law. A theme running through these rights is that the government has the burden of proof of proving guilt beyond a reasonable doubt on the basis of evidence produced in the court. The confession of a person accused of a crime is evidence, but it is not independent evidence obtained by the prosecution. Coming from the mouth of the defendant, it relieves law enforcement authorities and government prosecutors of the burden of obtaining another evidence to establish the defendant's guilt upon a simple and plain confession. Okay? Wrote William Blackstone, Black's Law Dictionary. The court has nothing to do but to award judgment, but it is usually very reluctant in receiving and recording such confession, especially in capital felonies, out of tenderness to the life of the subject, and will generally advise the prisoner to retract it and plead the indictment. Okay, voluntary versus involuntary confessions. The Miranda Rule is now a staple of police and courtroom dramas evolved from Supreme Court decisions in four separate cases, including Miranda versus Arizona, 1966, pickup sticks. They require law enforcement authorities before interrogation to inform suspects taken into custody or questioning that they have certain rights, including the right to remain silent, derived from the Fifth Amendment, a guarantee against self-incrimination, and the right under the Sixth Amendment to assistance of counsel during interrogation, either of a suspect's own choosing or appointed by the court. Okay, so if an officer does not read you your Miranda rights, and they arrest you, they have broken the law and they violated the Constitution. They should be held accountable, like Officer Lundgren, the Apple Valley Police Department. He broke the law. Okay, why is he above the law? Officer Lundgren, hey Chief Nick Francis, why is he above the law? You see where we're in a conundrum here, boys? You should put a woman in charge of your department, by the way. You should put Colleen in charge. These Miranda warnings are aimed at ensuring that those accused of crimes are aware of their constitutional rights and are not intimidated by law enforcement. By the way, Officer Lundgren sexually assaulted me during the arrest. Okay. Remember that, Officer Lundgren? Hope you got your body cam footage ready. Using due process clause of the 14th Amendment in Brown versus Mississippi, The Supreme Court held that the Fifth Amendment, applicable to the states, see incorporation doctrine to bar the admission of an involuntary confession. Columbia versus Connecticut. The court began looking at cases and weighing the individual circumstances to determine if the confession had been coerced or it had been in fact given voluntarily. In Escobar versus Illinois in 1964, the justices held that the police's refusal to allow the suspect to speak to his lawyer after repeated demands to do so during interrogation, even though the lawyer was present in the police station, made his confession involuntary. Okay? Evolution of Miranda warnings. So that's the Miranda. They really screwed up. So I'm just anybody who's been arrested without being read their Miranda rights and you were charged for a crime, I would open up that case. I would file a suit. I would file a summons complaint against your local police department who did not read you your Miranda rights because they violated the Constitution. They took an oath to uphold. Have a great day. Love you. Miller Madison Clinton Quinn. I can't wait to see you. Andrew Convoy for President.com, PresidentUniverse.com. Love my country, love the FBI, love my intelligence community, love my armed forces. I'm calling for peace around the world. I'm calling for all the soldiers that are fighting right now. Put down your guns, talk to each other, okay? End the war. All you have to do is put your guns down and say, we're not going to do this. And I've never owned a gun. I never wanted to own a gun in my life because they only are used for one thing, stupidity. Really, it shows how scared or soft we are as a country by how many guns there are. Okay, I've never wanted to own a gun. I never wanted to look at a gun. I never wanted to buy a gun. Okay, and the people that own guns, what do you have them for? Like, why? Why do you have so many guns? So I'm calling on soldiers across the world that are at war right now. Hopefully somebody can see this message somehow. I'm calling for peace. Peace around the world. Peace in the Middle East. Peace in Africa. Peace in Russia. Peace in China. Peace in America. Peace in Canada. Peace in South America. Peace all around the world. We don't need to do this. Okay? And the reason you're about to see the war started is because they need to deflate our debt away. And how do they do that? They print money. How do you print money? You go to war. Okay, don't play for these clowns. Okay, the 450 people in Congress and the president and the vice president, okay, they've committed more crimes, okay, against humanity than any other group on the planet. And that goes across to all world leaders. Like, why are they not held to the same laws as common folk are? Why? Okay, if you kill someone in America, you go to jail for murder. If a president sends an army to kill innocent people, what happens to him? If Congress sends an army to kill people, what happens to them? It's they're the ones in charge. They're the leaders. They wanted that job. Now they should be held to the exact same laws that we are held to. Okay, and that's my belief. And I hope a lot of people start to wake up and realize that. Speak up. Use your voice. You don't need violence. You don't need guns. The most powerful thing on the planet is your brain, your voice, and your heart. That's it. That's all you need. You need to come together and finally realize that. And throughout history, what has got governments really scared is when common people speak up. When they speak up, they love when you go riot. They love when you go destroy stuff because then they can blame it all on you. So don't do that. Stay away from Washington, D.C. It's a country within a country by design. That's why they have fences around it. That's their country. This is our country. We don't do what they do. We go higher. We stay golden. Okay? We're not psychopaths like them. Okay? We actually love our country. All they care about is their paycheck, as you can see. If you go into Congress, you go in poor, you leave a rich person. Love you, America.